Hello, welcome to today's Daf 23, Ahmad A of Teruma. Let's dive straight in. So it says, or concede even the rabbi that if the owner did not consult the court about which animal was sacrificed, but instead he took one of the animals sacrificed it, he has demonstrated a lack of concern for the fate of the remaining animal, and that therefore the second animal is left to die. So what's the footnote here? Hakol modim she'im mosach achas hakri reva Hashniya Mesa. According to Rashi, when the owner sacrifices one animal, he actually rejects the remaining animal. Accordingly, even if the owner sacrificed the original animal, the second animal is left to die. Alternatively, the second animal is left to die because the owner is penalized for not consulting the court with regard to the proper course of action, and that's from Bein Adeshim or Hagola. In a case where one designated a sin offering and it became lost, and so could designate another sin offering in its place, and the original sin offering was found, if he pulled one of the animals and sacrificed without consulting the court, the other animal must be left to die. If he seeks rabbinic counsel, he is advised to sacrifice the original sin offering, and the replacement sin offering is left to grade until it develops a blemish, at which point it is sold, and the money is allocated for communal gift offerings. The halacha is in contrary to the opinion of the rabbis in the Mishnah, and according to the Rav Huna's explanation of the disagreement between the rabbis and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. This is because Rav Huna's explanation is reasonable, and it enables the latter clause of the Mishnah to be interpreted according to all opinions. That's the Ram Sefer Pesule HaMukdashin 4:3. Consequently, you find that both clauses in the Mishnah are consistent with the opinion of the rabbis, as one may interpret the latter clause as referring to a case where the owner took one of two sums of money, used it to purchase an animal and sacrifice the animal, and in such a case, all agree that the other sum of money is cast into the Dead Sea. But according to that which Rabbi Abba says, the term Abba is used in reference to one's father, both when directly addressing him and when talking about him to others. The term was also used as an honorific title for some sages, e.g. Abba Sheol, especially from the period of the Tanaim. Additionally, the term was used as a first name. There were numerous important individuals from the end of the period of the Mishnah into modern times whose first name was Abba. In fact, this is the first name of the famous Amoraim Rabbah and Rava, as the title and name Rav Abba were merged into Rabbah and Rava respectively. Abba was also the first name of an earlier Amoraim known as Rav. Rav says, the Mishnah cannot be interpreted in this manner, as Rabbi Abba said, or concede that in a case where one achieves atonement through the one that was not lost, the one that was lost is left to die. With regard to what case do the rabbis and Rabbi Yehuda disagree? They disagree with regard to the case of one who achieves atonement with the one that was lost. As Rabbi Yehuda Nasi holds that if one designates a sin offering instead of the one that was lost, it is considered like the lost sin offering. Accordingly, just as the lost animal left to die if the second sin offering was sacrificed, the replacement animal left to die if the original animal was sacrificed. And the rabbis hold that if one designates a sin offering instead of one that was lost, it is not considered like the lost animal. Rather, it is if the original animal was sacrificed, the replacement animal is left to graze, as it was never lost. Therefore, one must say that according to his explanation, the Tana taught us the first clause of the Mishnah in an unattributed manner, from the opinion of the rabbis, and he taught us the latter clause of an unattributed manner in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. The Gemara asks, and what is the Tana teaching us by teaching its clause in accordance with different opinions? Presumably he is teaching that Rabbi Yehuda Nasi and the rabbis disagree about this matter, but the Tana already teaches this dispute between Rabbi Yehuda Nasi and the rabbis explicitly in the latter clause. In the case of one who designated a sin offering and the animal was lost, and he designated another animal in its stead, and therefore the first sin offering was found, and both of the animals stand fit for sacrifice, one of them shall be sacrificed and the other shall be left to die. This is stated by Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. And the rabbis say a sin offering is not left to die unless it was found after the owner achieved atonement, and the money is not taken to the Dead Sea unless it was found after its owner achieved atonement. The Gemara answers, this is what the Tana is teaching us in the latter clause, that this matter was presented in a contradictory manner between the first and second clauses of the Mishnah is actually a dispute between Rabbi Yehuda Nasi and the rabbis. The Gemara returns to the matter itself, which was cited above. Rav Huna said that Rav says, all can see that if the owner did not consult the court about which animal to sacrifice, but instead took one of the animals and sacrificed it, the second animal left to die. They disagree only in a case where the owner comes to consult the court. As Rabbi Yonasi holds, the sages did not care to enact a protective ordinance with regard to consecrated items, and it was of no concern to them that one of the animals would be left to die there, and therefore we say to the owner, go and return with the sin offering that was not lost, and the one that was lost shall be left to die. And the rabbis hold, the sages enact a protective ordinance with regard to consecrated items, and therefore say to the owner, go and return with the sin offering that was lost, and the one that was not lost shall be left to graze. Rav Marashia raises an objection. And is there such an opinion that sages do not care to enact a protective ordinance with regard to consecrated items to prevent them from being left to die? But isn't it told in the Bible with regard to a verse that deals with the remainder of a meal offering? And that which is left thereof shall Aaron and sons eat, and it shall be eaten without leaven in a holy place. In the court of the tent of meeting they shall eat. Leviticus 6:9. Why must the verse state at the end of the apparently redundant expression, they shall eat? The verse teaches that the remainder constitutes a small amount for consumption. The priests eat non-sacred food and truma with it. So what's the footnote? Ochlin ima chulin. The early commentaries ask, since it is prohibited to bring non-sacred food into the temple courtyard, and one may not take the meal offering out of the temple courtyard, how is it possible to eat non-sacred food with a meal offering? Rashi answers that the priest would eat non-sacred food outside the temple courtyard, and then they would eat the meal offering inside the temple courtyard. Others explain that the prohibition of bringing non-sacred food into the temple courtyard applies only if one performs one of the sacrificial rites with that food, but there is no inherent prohibition against bringing non-sacred items in of any type into the temple courtyard. Tosfot. As proof, Tosfot notes that one is permitted to wear one's clothes in the temple courtyard even if they are non-sacred. The remainder will be eaten while satiated. Furthermore, why must the verse state they shall eat? The verse teaches that if the remainder constitutes a large amount for consumption, if there was only a small amount of the remainders of meal offerings to eat, the priests eat non-sacred food or truma with it, so that they can eat the meal offering while satiated. If there was a large amount of the remainder of meal offerings to eat, the priests do not eat other food with it, so that when they eat the meal offering, they will not be eating excessively. That's from the Rambam Sefer Hechad Ma'aser Kabbalah 10:11. Usually there are many remainders from the meal offerings, then one does not eat non-sacred food truma with it, so that it will not be eaten in an excessive manner. Achila Gasa. In a general sense, this term refers to eating in a grossness manner without taking into account etiquette or caring to limit oneself to reasonable quantities of food. It also has a specific halachic meaning. When one is fully satiated to the point that it is uncomfortable to eat anymore, and then he forces himself to continue eating. In various halachic contexts, excessive eating is not considered an act of eating at all. Otherwise, one might fail to consume the entire remainder, and some of it will be rendered left over from an offering after the time allotted for its consumption. Nota. Rav Moshe concludes his objection. This Bible teaches that an ordinance that was enacted in order to prevent the remainder of the meal offering from being rendered nota. The same reason should apply to other consecrated items, including a sin offering. What? Is it not that this Bible is stated even according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi? The Gemara responds, no, this Bible is stated specifically according to the opinion of the rabbis. And Rabbi Abba says, the Rav says, all concede that in a case where one achieves atonement through the one that was not lost, the one that was lost is left to die. With regard to what case the rabbis and Rabbi Yehuda disagree, they disagree with regard to a case where one achieved atonement with the one that was lost. As Rabbi Yehuda Nasi holds that if one designates a sin offering instead of the one that was lost, it's considered like the lost sin offering. Therefore, the second animal is left to die. And the rabbis hold that if one designates a sin offering instead of the one that was lost, it is not considered like the lost animal. Accordingly, the second animal is left to graze. The Gemara objects the explanation of Rabbi Abba in the name of Rav. We learn in the Mishnah Yoma 62a. On Yom Kippur, a pair of goats is brought to the temple, where lots are drawn to determine which goat is sent to the other as a scapegoat, and which goat is sacrificed as a sin offering. If the scapegoat died after the lots were drawn for both goats, another pair of goats is brought, and the lots are drawn for the second pair. This means that there are two goats that were selected as the sin offering, right? The remaining goat from the first pair, and the goat selected from the second pair. One of these is sacrificed, and the second goat shall graze until it becomes blemished, and it shall then be sold. and the money received from the sale will be allocated for communal gift offerings. This is because a communal sin offering is not left to die. One may infer from the Mishnah that under similar circumstances, the sin offering of an individual is left to die. The Gemara continues its objection, and Rav says, with regard to this Mishnah, living animals are not rejected. In other words, the sin offering from the first person not qualified on account of the death of the first scapegoat, and therefore, when I choose atonement, he may even achieve atonement with the second goat of the first pair, and the other sin offering from the latter pair is like an animal designated instead of an offering that was lost. As the second pair was brought due to the death of the first scapegoat. And the Mishnah states that the reason the remaining sin offering is not left to die is that it is a communal sin offering. Well, if it were the sin offering of an individual, it would be left to die. That's the end of that Amud. Thank you very much for listening, and wish you all the best. Bye.